After one round, we again had the Greeks going first, and largely people were taking kind of preparatory moves. Another Greek leader coming in place, Agathocles. Carthaginians upgraded their loyalty with the Lilybium. Romans went into a tie trying to chase the Gauls. And the Gauls played kind of cool card requiring personal combat instead, so there were no actual losses. The Gauls pulled it back, no political consequences. Great card to avoid a large Roman army with. And then the Gauls returned by wiping out the last of the Etruscans, and they set siege for Pisae. I'm not sure what they're intending to do if they get it. It's neutral. It's not really worth anything. And finally, over to the Samnites. They played to get a leader. Gellius. Spinning here in at the end of 2. See the Greeks move in and siege Lilybium again, or Bium again, after having pushed Hamilcar out. Successful roll using the Selenians, which means more damage for the Carthaginians as well. Carthage spent their turn building lots of mercenaries. That's one of their big advantages. The Romans played a major campaign and spread their leaders out. However, when the Samnites came back, they got a good roll on the attack. They played the Death of Aeolus card, which is a one-use card. It gives the Romans a -2 on their combat table. And Rome's in worse shape. They just lost Velitrae. And Narnia went neutral. The Gauls did a little bit of pillaging. After 3, the back and forth in Sicily continues as the Carthaginians come and drive Dionysus away from Lilybium. The Greeks were moving troops in to make the siege of Capua a possibility again. The Romans used Desperate Times card, drew a new hand of cards, and ended up building the Servian Wall, which will help them defend Rome. They still got to leave a troop in it, though, to prevent it from just revolting on them, essentially. Which is something that's very hard for me to keep track of in this game in my head, is how easy, if you don't garrison something, it can be converted by a bad combat result. I don't dislike that at all. I think it's very cool. It's just, it's the kind of mistake I know I'd make a lot, not just playing solo. The Gauls, oh, the poor Gauls. They spent the whole turn trying to raid that and got one thing. They had gotten a victory point the turn before. I don't know if I mentioned that. And then our friends, the Samnites, well, they're trying to resurrect the Etruscans. They spent a 3-point card and built themselves a strength point, with some hope of like turning the Etruscans into something of value. Okay, so that's the end of the 4th round, and not a lot's happened. The Greeks took Capua, and to make up for their loss here, the Carthaginians increased their holdings. The Romans took control of Rome, increased their control on Rome, and actually took Praeneste. But we see that that's kind of been, those attempts have been vacated by actions from both the Gauls and the Samnites. The Gauls moved in and defeated the unit that was standing there and picked up additional plunder from it. And then the Samnites moved into Rome, and Maximus refused to fight. He's a good leader, but so is Egalateus, and hit 2-to-1 odds. So the Romans withdrew into the city. They're counting on the Servian walls holding them out. This could actually be the end of Rome. I mean, they still get cards, but except for trying to launch revolts or something like that, there's not much they could do without any spaces. And at the end of the 5th round, things started off kind of exciting with the Greeks charging up to go besiege Antium, and then the Carthaginians sliding across to put Messina under siege. Those won't be resolved until this end of turn phase that's coming up. After that, we had the Romans come out and attack, and they were defeated. That dropped the strength of their city, their loyalty of their city by a point, so now it's only a 1, which is as low as it could go. Oh no, it couldn't go that low. Sorry, it's a 2. I get enough troops in it to prevent it from going below that. And there's really nothing, that the Samnites could get off of that. They don't have any cities, so they can't increase their loyalty. They're still tribal. The Gauls raided Praeneste, and their army disappeared in the raid, but they still got some treasure. And I spent for the Etruscans to build a 2nd strength point, just hoping to get them something that they can maybe get one of their cities back with, so that they can get actual troops back. And here we are at the end of turn 3. I'll just move the turn marker forward. Put some dice there. I didn't count my points. Yeah, I did. Okay. Situation after reinforcements, etc. Wow. The Greeks had to pull Dionysus off the board. They have the slightly less valuable leader, Agathocles. He's able to move a little quicker. He's less of a military leader. A 2 initiative isn't bad, so it's painful to give Dionysus up, but he was in the wrong place. I can't get troops to him up here at Selinus, and having a minor leader there is fine. All the Greek cities are down to 1 loyalty, which means cities are going to start revolting, or I have to get rid of leaders, basically. Maybe actually that I have to give out leaders, period, at the end. They managed to hold even on victory points, as of course the Gauls haven't lost anything either. Gauls are getting tremendous amounts of troops, though, and making cards like the selling mercenaries to people look kind of interesting to them, just because they can get so much plunder off them. Carthage has gained 1 city, and they went up 1, so they're now back breaking even. Rome, I mean, they're hosed, and the Etruscan Samnites aren't in a horrible position, but their victory points are such crap that nobody's going to worry about them right now. I believe, I'm not sure how much the Greeks want to hold this. I think they're going to, and basically say, look, Etruscan Samnites, the Gauls are your problem, my problem is Carthage, both of us are in trouble right now, let's work together. And I don't think that's unreasonable at all. So that's it. This took long enough. I'm going to package it up again as a whole turn. I was hoping to get 2 or 3 turns in each of these, but I really do want to explain what's going on, because that's about all that's interesting.